everyone, it's Nicole from Nicole Loves. Welcome to the channel. So today I have the new Essie Imagine That collection. This seems to be one of those collections that Essie likes to throw in that's not necessarily seasonally appropriate, but it is released in a season. I don't know what I was gonna say there. This seems to be exclusive currently to the Ulta website, so that's why I did purchase these. According to the Ulta website, this collection is inspired by the need for escapism. The shades in the Imagine That collection invite you to channel your inner kidlet? Oh, like kidult. Kidult? To channel your inner kidult and imagine a world of your own creation. That's what they said, not me. All right, everyone, we're now kidults. We are kidults. So I have 6 polishes total to share with you all today. Before we get into today's video, I do want to mention I'm getting really close to 7,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this video, you're new to the channel, hello, my name is Nicole. Wonderful to meet you and thank you for clicking on today's video. I upload new videos every week on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I also go live on Sundays. I post vlogs, I post cooking videos. I have a whole lot of chickens and too many cats and a wild border collie. So if you would like to join me on some adventures here on the YouTubes, feel free to hit subscribe. So I'll have links to the Ulta website in the description box. That link is an affiliate link, so I do receive a commission if you use the link. But you know, no pressure at using the link, of course. And thank you if you do decide to use it. I'll also have links to the Essie website and social media pages, my social media pages, as well as a link to my blog post on NicoleLovesNails.com where I host all of my swatch photos, as well as provide a written review. And of course, timestamps are down there as well. Let's get into this video. First up, we have Bizar You Ready, which Essie describes as a cool coral pink with blue undertones. Bizar You Ready had a fantastic formula. I am not generally a lover of colors like this, but there was something about just how good this applied and how it looked that I just really loved. The base was slightly on the thicker side, but the kind of thickness that adds to opacity and not like difficulty in use. I found this to be super close to being a 1-coater on me. My photos do show Bizar You Ready in 2 coats plus glossy top coat. I am not going to pretend that any of the colors in this release are like shockingly unique, but they are really pretty. Just a little spoiler for you. Speaking of which, I thought for sure that this was going to be a dupe for In the Universe, which I believe came out last spring. Not dupes, not terribly similar either, side by side, honestly. There are a couple of polishes in this release that have some inconsistencies for the name. This first one is one of them. The label on my bottle says it's called Keep It Surreal. However, on the Ulta website, it's listed as Keepin' It Surreal. I don't know which one it is. I'm just gonna go with Keep It Surreal because that's what my bottle says. Essie describes this one as a deep brick red with yellow undertones. First, I don't see any yellow in this polish. I don't know where they're coming from with the yellow undertones thing. Second, this is a beautiful color. This is very much not a seasonally appropriate color, but I don't particularly care because I thought this one was absolutely gorgeous. This was a 1-coater on me. My swatches do show it in 2 coats. This is a super pigmented color. I would definitely caution with this one if your nails are prone to staining with reds. I did not personally experience any staining, but like I had to really scrub to get all the red off of my nails and my skin. When I saw this one on the nails, I immediately thought of Not a Phase from the Odd Squad collection from earlier this year. While these are not exact dupes of each other, they are, however, close enough in color and tone that if you have one, you do not need the other. Like, they are shockingly similar. The formulations of both polishes are also very comparable, so whichever one is easier to find, get that one. And now we have Imagine That, which Essie describes as a light lime green with yellow undertones. I'm sorry, I just need to interrupt the video for a quick rant. I don't understand why it is that all of these brands are so phobic of just using the word chartreuse. I feel like we can all look at this and say, that's not lime green. Like, I feel like most of us have seen what a lime looks like, and 99% of the lime varieties that I have seen have not been this color. It's chartreuse. It is not lime. I don't understand why we can't just call something chartreuse, but we're gonna... I fully recognize this is like a major overreaction, but yeah, there's just something about it that really just makes me just want to just like shake something. I don't know why, but it does. Okay, back to the swatch. Imagine That had a fantastic formula. Again, this one was also a little bit on the thicker side, but the kind of thickness that makes things more opaque. It self-leveled absolutely beautifully. I have a lot of polishes that are in this kind of color tone, And I gotta say, this is probably one of the better formulations that I've tried. I usually find colors like this are like generally 3-coaters. I find it pretty rare for them to be like a good solid 2-coat polish, and I found this one was a good solid 2-coat polish. Like I said, I have a lot of colors that I like this, and I gotta say every single last one of them is a definite stainer, and I would say this one likely is also a stainer. I ended up scrubbing my fingers with some pure acetone to get all of the pigment off of my fingers. Definitely double up on base coat if you are concerned about staining. The closest color in Essie's catalog that I had to this one was My Happy Bass. That you can see here, they're two very different colors. And now we have Out of the Blue, which Essie describes as a cool mid-tone blue with white undertones. Out of the Blue had a fantastic formula. This is a really fun, bright, yet medium blue. Yes, it's technically within the pastel family, but I feel like it's got like a nice bump in saturation to not make it like boring spring pastel, in my opinion at least. This was one of the thicker polishes in the release.
Damn, boy, he's thick!
I do still think it applied really nicely, but it was noticeably thick. Like, I think it was just on the line of being too thick. Despite it being on the thicker side, I did still find it self-leveled really, really nicely, especially for a polish that has so much white in it. I was really pleasantly surprised because I honestly expected this one to feel like a little bit chalky. I do think likely the next time I reach for it, I probably will end up adding just like a little squirt of thinner in here, but for this swatch, it applied really, really nicely. Once again, I thought this was going to be a dupe for a recent polish from Essie called Tulip's Touch, which was in this year's spring collection. As you can see, Out of the Blue is more saturated and darker than Tulip's Touch. Here we have Everything's Cake, which Essie describes as a baby pink with white undertones. First off, I feel like calling this one a baby pink is a bit of a stretch. I feel like it's either a white or a very pale gray with pink undertones. I don't see baby pink in this. Everything's Cake had a so-so formula. I generally always expect colors this light to be streaky, uneven, have dark spots, and it did.
Disappointed!
So like, it was not as good for me as I was expecting, but I feel like for a color like this, it performed as these generally do. I swatched this one in 2 coats plus glossy top coat. I still had some noticeable dark spots on my nails, but I'll be honest, I don't like colors like this, so I really did not want to add a 3rd coat just to be disappointed by the dark spots, so I kept it at 2 coats. I thought that this was going to be pretty comparable to Dance Till Dawn, which was another Ulta exclusive by Essie, but you can see the more pink tone of Everything Cake versus Dance Till Dawn's more taupey. So this is the second polish in the release that has like a wonky name. On the Essie website, it's called Unreal Lit It In. However, my bottle says Unreal It In. I feel like Unreal It In sounds like it makes more sense, so that's what I'm gonna call it. Essie describes this one as a muted forest green with yellow undertones. Unreal It In had a fantastic formula. This was also a 1-coater on me. There does seem to be just like a little droplet of gray in here, so I can kind of see what they were going for with the whole muted claim. This polish applied absolutely beautifully. Once again, it was on the thicker side, but the kind of thickness that adds to opacity and not difficulty in use. And I also did notice that this dries down just slightly darker than it initially applies. My swatches show Unreal It in 2 coats plus glossy top coat. Super easy removal, however, this one is very pigmented, so I would recommend doubling up on your base coat. Sassy, say hi to everybody. Do you want to come inside? Come on, let's go. Come on, Sass, come on. Not gonna lie, I was really hoping that this was going to be a dupe for Holo Taco's Monstera from the Julian collab. Sadly, they are not dupes. Alrighty, so final thoughts. I actually have not yet finished watching these polishes yet, so Editing Nicole is going to pop in and give you all of her thoughts. Alrighty, so final thoughts. Overall, I thought this was a really great release. I was really, really happy with how the formulas all applied on this release. I feel like my only desire, nitpick, I don't know what to call it. I feel like the only thing I could have possibly wanted from this release was a topper. Although I feel like Essie doesn't really do toppers too often, but I feel like a collection where it's like, oh, have fun with your inner kidult. I feel like doing something that's like fun, like more fun than just like a color is. I feel like that would have been a nice addition, but like I feel like when I buy an Essie collection, I generally do expect cream, so like I feel like for that, I think this was really good. My top pick is definitely going to be Imagine That. I thought that was a really... I love that color. I don't care that chartreuses always stain me. I don't care. I will continue wearing them. It doesn't bother me. Well, I mean, it bothers me, but it doesn't bother me that badly. And then I think Bizar You Ready is going to be my second top pick from this release, but honestly, I was just really happy with all the colors in this collection. I thought everything was really good. Well, except for that pale pink. The pale pink, I didn't like that. Also, just a heads up, these seem to be going in and out of a sale on the Ulta website. As I've been looking at it throughout this past week, I have noticed that some of the days the polishes are priced at $7 versus the normal $10. So if you want to pick these up from the Ulta website, I have a link for that in the description box. So I would love to know what everyone thought of this release. I picked these up from the Ulta website. They had an amazing sale on Essie polishes. I hope if you are into Essie, you're able to take part in that sale. I will have another Essie review coming up of the Essie Expressi Power Mousse collection. I wasn't originally going to swatch that one, but there was a sale. Folks over in my Discord said that they wanted me to swatch it, so I grabbed them, so stay tuned for that. Before we end today's video, I want to give a very special shout out to my channel members, Shenanigans! Thank you all so very much for your love and support. Your names, of course, are all on the screen right now. If you would like to sign up for channel memberships, I have a link for that down in the description box. But you know, as always, please do not feel pressure to sign up for channel memberships. Just like the video, comment, share, subscribe, all the things, and we are good. So just thank you all very much for joining me for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
When I get high, I ain't looking at the clock, still ballin' like Brian. Yeah, I'm headed to the Bucks, then I'm ballin' like yeah.